Welcome back to Ancient Asian Legends, where we explore universal wisdom through timeless tales. In our last chapter, Wukong and Xuanzang encountered a dragon at Eagle's Worry Stream who had eaten their horse. After Guanyin Bodhisattva intervened, the dragon was transformed into their new horse to carry them on their journey to the Western Paradise. The divine gods even provided them with a perfect saddle and bridle set, and they traveled peacefully for 2 months. Will their good fortune continue as they approach their next destination? Let's jump into today's adventure. Chapter 31, The Greedy Monks. The Shifu and disciple reached a beautiful temple with multiple halls and corridors, colorful clouds swirling around 3 mountain gates, and ancient pine groves surrounding bell and drum towers beside a magnificent pagoda. A group of monks emerged wearing traditional robes and carrying wooden percussion instruments. When Xuanzang bowed politely, they welcomed him warmly.
"Where have you come from? Please enter for tea."
This humble monk is an envoy from the Eastern land, traveling to Thundersound Temple to worship Buddha and seek the sacred scriptures. We humbly request shelter for 1 night.
"Please come inside."
When the monks saw Wukong's appearance, they looked frightened.
"What kind of creature is that leading the horse?"
Speak quietly. He has a quick temper. He's my disciple.
Inside, they saw Guanyin Temple written on the main hall. Xuanzang was delighted and went to worship while Wukong rang the bell, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, for a very long time.
The prayers are finished. Why are you still ringing the bell?
Wukong laughed.
"You don't understand. I'm doing my job. Be a monk for a day. Ring the bell for a day."
His loud ringing alarmed all the temple monks, who rushed out shouting,
"Who's that wild person making such a racket?"
"It's your grandfather's son having some fun."
The terrified monks fell down crying, "Thunder God," until Wukong reassured them. The abbot invited them to the back quarters for tea, where they met a very old monk, 270 years old, wearing magnificent robes with jeweled accessories. After exchanging pleasantries about their long journey, the conversation turned to treasures. When Wukong mentioned their cassock, the monks chuckled and showed off their own collection. 12 chests filled with hundreds of cassocks.
"Good. Put them away and let's bring out ours."
Don't compete over wealth. We're alone and far from home. This could lead to trouble. The ancients said, precious objects should never be shown to greedy people. Once they see such things, they'll make plans that could cost us our lives.
"Don't worry. Everything's on me."
He untied their bundle and removed the oil paper wrapping. When he took out the cassock, red light filled the room and colorful energy filled the courtyard. Every monk was amazed. It was magnificent, decorated with thousands of pearl tassels and countless rare Buddhist treasures. The old monk's greedy heart awakened. He knelt before Xuanzang with tears.
"This poor monk truly has no fortune. My old eyes are dim, and I cannot see it clearly in this light."
When Xuanzang offered to light lamps, the old monk said they would be too dazzling. He begged,
"If you would let me take it to my back room to examine carefully through the night, I promise to return it in the morning."
Xuanzang was shocked, but Wukong laughed.
"What's to fear? Let him take it. If anything goes wrong, I'll handle everything."
Despite Xuanzang's protests, Wukong handed over the cassock. The monks prepared beds for their guests, and everyone dispersed for the night. But the old monk took the cassock to his room and wailed loudly under the lamplight, alarming the entire temple. When his disciples asked why he was crying, he replied,
"I cry because I cannot truly possess Tahng Monk's treasure. I'm 270 years old and have hundreds of cassocks, but how could I ever get one like his? If I could wear it for just one day and then die, I could close my eyes peacefully.
The monk suggested asking the travelers to stay longer, but the old monk said,
Eventually they'll leave, and I'll have to give it back. How can we keep it forever?
A young monk named Guangzhi stepped forward.
Grandfather, if you want to keep it forever, that's easy. Those two are exhausted from traveling and fast asleep. We could gather strong men with weapons, break into their hall, kill them both, bury the bodies in our back garden, and take their horse and luggage. Then we'd keep that cassock as a family treasure forever.
Excellent. This plan is wonderful.
But another monk named Guangmu said,
This plan isn't good. That pale-faced one looks easy, but the hairy-faced one looks dangerous. If we can't kill him, we'll bring disaster on ourselves. I have a better plan that doesn't need weapons.
What's your plan?
We gather all the monks, have each bring dry firewood, sacrifice the 3 meditation halls, and set them on fire. They'll have no escape, and the horse will burn too. Even if villagers see it, we'll say they were careless and started the fire themselves. Those 2 monks will burn to death, perfect cover for our theft.
The monks were thrilled.
Brilliant! This plan is even better.
They ordered all 70 monastery sections, over 200 monks total, to bring firewood. That night, they rushed to gather wood, surrounding the meditation hall completely on all sides, preparing their deadly trap. Meanwhile, Wukong maintained his spiritual awareness even while sleeping. He heard footsteps and firewood rustling outside.
It's quiet night. Why do I hear movement? Could it be thieves?
Using his powers, he transformed into a bee and slipped through the roof to investigate. He saw the monks carrying firewood and straw, already surrounding their hall to set it ablaze.
Just as my Shifu predicted. They want to kill us and steal the cassock. If I beat them with my staff, they're too weak. One blow would kill them all, and Shifu would blame me for violence. Fine. I'll give them a taste of their own medicine.
The clever monkey somersaulted up to the South Heaven Gate, startling the guards. When the Heavenly King appeared, Wukong explained,
Tang Monk has encountered evil people who want to burn him to death. I need to borrow your fire protection cover to save him.
You're confused. If people are setting fires, you should borrow water.
You don't understand. If I use water to stop the fire, it would help them. I want to protect Tang Monk from harm and let everything else burn. Hurry.
The Heavenly King reluctantly handed over the magical cover. Wukong rode his cloud down to the meditation hall roof and covered Xuanzang, the white horse, and their luggage with the protective barrier. Then he positioned himself on top of the old monks' back quarters to guard the cassock. As the monks lit their fires, Wukong made hand signs, chanted spells, and blew toward the southeast, creating a powerful wind that made the flames burn with terrifying intensity. What a spectacular fire! Black smoke billowed into the sky, while red flames leaped hundreds of feet high. The merciless blaze grew wild with Wukong's deliberate wind assistance, roaring like a hungry beast, devouring everything in its path. Soon, the wind was howling like demons, and the fire raged like an angry dragon, turning the entire Guanyin temple into a blazing inferno that lit up the night sky for miles around. The monks ran frantically with their belongings, crying to heaven as they tried to save their possessions from the disaster they had created. Boxes crashed, people screamed, and the sound of collapsing buildings thundered through the chaos. Wukong's fire protection cover kept the front meditation hall completely safe, while he guarded the back quarters where the cassock was stored, letting everything else burn in the monks' own trap. But 10 kilometers away at Black Wind Mountain, the fire's glow woke a demon in Black Wind Cave. Seeing the light, he thought it was dawn, but realized it was northern firelight.
That must be Guanyin Temple on fire. I should help them.
The demon flew to the scene and saw the devastating flames. He rushed inside calling for water, but noticed the back quarters had no fire and someone was on the roof controlling the wind. Realizing what was happening, he investigated and found colorful light glowing from a bundle in the main room. When he unwrapped it, he discovered the magnificent cassock. Greed moved his heart. Instead of fighting the fire, he grabbed the treasure, took advantage of the chaos, and fled to his mountain cave. The fire burned until dawn. The destitute monks searched through ashes for metal objects, while others huddled in makeshift shelters, crying and complaining. Wukong returned the cover to the Heavenly King, then transformed back into a bee and resumed his form beside his sleeping Shifu.
Shifu, it's dawn. Time to get up.
When Xuanzang saw only collapsed red walls instead of buildings, he was shocked. Wukong explained about the fire and the monk's evil plot. Though Xuanzang scolded him for helping the wind instead of water, Wukong insisted the cassock was safe in the unburned quarters. But when they went to retrieve it, the monks were terrified, thinking they were ghosts. After searching everywhere, the cassock was nowhere to be found. When Wukong asked about local demons, the abbot mentioned,
To our southeast, there's Blackwind Mountain with a Black King. Our dead fool often discussed philosophy with him. He's definitely a demon.
It's definitely that demon who stole it. The fire was visible for hundreds of kilometers. He saw the bright flames, came secretly, and took our treasure in the chaos.
Despite Xuanzang's concerns about being left alone, Wukong arranged for the terrified monks to serve his Shifu, demonstrated his staff's power by smashing several walls to powder, and leaped on his cloud toward Blackwind Mountain to retrieve their stolen cassock. Our proverb of the day is the following. As long as you're a monk, ring the bell.
当一天和尚撞一天钟.
This proverb reminds us that showing up is just the beginning. Real fulfillment comes from engaging fully with our purpose. Like the monk who merely rings the bell without spiritual devotion, we can sometimes find ourselves going through life on autopilot. But here's the exciting part. Every moment is an opportunity to transform routine into intention. Just as Sun Wukong had to learn that true enlightenment wasn't about having powers, but about disciplined commitment to the journey, we too can choose to bring our whole hearts to whatever role we're playing today. That's our proverb of the day. As long as you're a monk, ring the bell.
当一天和尚撞一天钟.
Today's episode features Journey to the West, the classic novel written by Wu Cheng'en in 1592, adapted, translated, and narrated by Mei Li Sun. Original music by Jeff Harvey and Studio Columna. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube by searching Ancient Asian Legends to receive episode highlights and ancient Asian proverbs. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Asia's most captivating legends. What will Wukong discover when he reaches Blackwind Mountain? Is the demon as formidable as he seems, and will our monkey warrior be able to retrieve Xuanzang's precious cassock? And what other challenges might arise from this dangerous confrontation? Subscribe and find out in the next episode of Ancient Asian Legends. Until then, take care and stay enchanted.